What's up, y'all? So today we gonna be talking about the time I dated somebody from a halfway house. If you don't know what a halfway house is, in the state of Florida, we call it a halfway house. That's when you just got out of prison and you go into this camp called work release. That's the word, if that's what you're familiar to. Work release. So that means that they're getting ready to come home. They're transitioning from prison life to humanity, So I met him on the app, Plenty of Fish. It should be called catch and release or throw them all back. That's what I think it should be called. Just throw them all back or catch and release. Throw it back in there right after you look at it. Oh, okay, this is a cute, nice fish. Yep, gone back in the water. I ain't gonna keep you, So normally I date men older than me. I don't never really date anybody younger than me. And so I'm like, I'm gonna try everything once. And so I decided to try this one time. So before I ran across him, I did have hits from other people. So let me tell you how I operate in real life and online. So in real life, I don't approach guys. I let guys approach me. On the internet dating, I do the same thing. I'll set up a profile. I'll like pictures, but I'm not speaking first. I'm not making any conversation because in my mind, I'm still like, okay, a man who finds the wife find a good thing. And so I'm going to let them come to me. My picture is here. My profile is here. Everything that I'm looking for, this, that, and the third. All I need to do is just sit here and let them come to me. And that's how I was operating. So I done set my profile up. I'm on there. You know what I'm saying? I've talked to a couple of people or whatever, and more than a couple. We gonna keep it honest. You know what I'm saying? When you on those dating websites, you talk to 1,000 people all the time. So it ain't just no one or two people or whatever. So me, I would get a lot of bings or whatever, and a lot of people would, message me and different things like that, Certain things I wouldn't go after or whatever. But when these people put these masks on, how you supposed to know? How you supposed to know that they ain't out here faking a phone? Fake futuring. Future faking. There it is. How we supposed to know? It ain't hard. It's not easy to just read these people through the internet. They tell you everything they want to say to you over the phone. It sounds beautiful. It sounds wonderful. Then you meet up. Then you see something different. Or they either remain the same. You just never know what you're going to get. And to me, that's the same way in just personal real life dating. You don't know what you're going to get because the person standing in front of you can tell you a whole lie. And my current problem now, the narc that I'm dealing with now, met him in person. And I couldn't tell. So it don't matter whether you meet somebody online or you meet them in person. People wear masks. And until they take their mask off, you don't know who you're dealing with until things start happening. So I said all that before I got into my story or whatever, because some people on here just think that, oh yeah, I just walk in there blind. Like, yeah, I'm going to go and pick him. Oh man, that's the wrong one. Let me try again. I'm going to pick him. No, it ain't like that. I date with a purpose. And so if what I'm looking for, this guy is showing it or whatever, because people can act. It's just that in all these relationships, I was the realest one of them all. I was expecting them to be just as real as I am, but that's what people with good hearts do. We think things like that. We think that everybody gonna treat us the same way we treat them. Not true at all. But you still keep your good heart. You still keep your caring, your sympathy, and all this love and sweet stuff about you. It's just that the people we run into take advantage of it and don't know how to handle what we got to offer. So before I ran across him, I'm going to just tell you this one funny story real quick before I get into the other story. So I'm on there just browsing around or whatever, I'm liking people pics and stuff. And I end up talking to this one dude. He was very cute. He had pretty eyes. He was light-skinned. Bro was Bro was hitting. He was fine. So I guess he was looking for, I'm going to say, a big girl that's going to break bread with him or whatever. Because bro was like, I think we talked for like a week. And in that same week, he hit me with the, can I borrow $300? I said, what? He said, can I ask you a favor? I was like, what? He was like, you think I could borrow $300? I said, bro, let me tell you something. I said, you want to borrow $300 from me? I said, I ain't the one you want to borrow $300. I said, because for $300, bro, as soon as I give you that money, I'm going to be at your house sitting on the porch, popping up, telling myself, hey, I'm just checking on that $300 I just let you borrow. Just wanted to know, when you was going to plan on giving that back. I know you said when you get paid in 2 weeks, but you can't have it no sooner than that. Bro, I'm going to need your phone number, your address, your birthday, your social security number, your birth certificate, your mama address, your cousin address, your daddy address. I'm going to need all that for me to give you $300. I'm like, this what we doing on here? We just letting people borrow money that we don't know like that. I'm like, I'm not her. I'm not an ATM is what they was calling it back then. I'm not an ATM, baby. If I got a man, if we're together, that's different. I got you, you got me. But it ain't gonna be no just, oh, you call me when you need to borrow something, or I'm just always a open cash register for you. I'm not that type of chick. I'm sorry. That's not me. I'm fully confident about my body, my face, all of that stuff. I don't need you to tell me I'm pretty, cute, none of that stuff, because I already know this. I tell myself this every day. So, you know what I'm saying? He thought, and that's all he was saying to me at the time when we was talking. He was just telling me, oh, you so beautiful. You so fine. Oh, girl, you voluptuous. You this, you that. Bro, tell me something that I don't know. Tell me something different. I don't need that. I get that. I tell myself that. Tell me something I don't get to hear. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they was really wilding on there for me. He wanted to borrow $300 from your girl. And I'm just like, nah, you better get somebody else to do it, because she don't do that. You want to borrow $300? Man, listen, I ain't the one. Nah, you can't get $300 up out of me, sir. I'm sorry. I'm good. Yep. You might want to skip to the next woman, because she not it. So, yeah. So, after him, then I run across the guy in the halfway house. He's a little bit younger than me. I was 31 and he was 24 or 25. I think he was 24 because he turned 25 after we started talking. So he did all the, the gaslighting and love bombing and everything. Had me hooked, got me going. So, I'm in. He done snatched me up, and I met him on POF, like I said. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so since he's in a halfway house, I can't really, see any problems with him. I won't have to deal with him cheating. I won't have to deal with him lying and have to wonder where he at, this, that, and the third, because this is all the stuff that I've dealt with men on the outside. So I'm just like, okay, this will be a piece of cake, because he's stationary. I'll know where he at all times, and I know that he can't see other women. He can't do other things like cheat on me and this, that, and the third. But little did I know, he could do every daggone thing he could as if he was free. Ain't stop him from doing nothing. I'm talking about he was good. He was good at what he do, because he was set. I didn't really even have to spend a whole lot of money on him, but I did put money and stuff into him, but it wasn't a whole lot. So, okay. So now we done went through the love bombing stage. He got me hooked. I'm in. I'm down for the game. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So we talking future. We doing all that. Basically the same jailhouse talk, prison talk that any man that's locked up or woman would do to you. He did that to me. So, I missed all the red flags, but I was in my mind. So I'm going to say, walking into it, I should have turned around and said no, being that he's incarcerated or whatever. But in my mind, I thought something different. So that was my foolish mistake of dealing with somebody incarcerated. I just thought that, it would be a little different with him being locked up versus being out here in the streets and having to play these little same mind games that people done played before. I just wanted something real. You know what I'm saying? When I date with a purpose. And so I'm telling you what it is that I'm looking for. And if you don't want those same things, I'm cool with you saying, hey, that ain't what I'm looking for. I'll skedaddle right on out your way so you can get what it is that you want, because I want you to be happy. But I want what I want too. So, you know what I'm saying? People put the mask on and pretend to be everything that you want them to be to get what they want. And so he did that. And he can do it because he locked up. They know how to play that game like it ain't nothing. So we starting to get serious and everything. I'm going up there to see him every weekend. And the halfway house wasn't too far. I'm going to say he didn't live. The halfway house wasn't too far from where I live, but it was still a little drive or whatever. So I would go every weekend to see him. And then when they would have, different events and things there, I was there for him or whatever. So everything going good. We chilling. We on the phone. We get to chill on the phone and everything. And at this point, he hasn't started working yet. That comes a little bit later because he had just transitioned to the halfway house. He probably been there maybe a month or two or so by the time me and him started talking. So, like I said, we deep in this thing now. I'm going up there to see him, this, that, and the third. And so then out of the blue, I get a message on Facebook Messenger from a girl I knew back in school. We were not friends. We were only acquaintances. We said hey to each other and bye to each other. And there was no other conversations or anything else besides that. And so it was a message from her. And she was telling me about the guy that I'm talking to. Because he sent me some pictures and I posted them on Facebook. That's why now I keep my relationships private. Facebook don't know about my relationships because of the foolery that I went through with this guy. I'm good on that. I keep my business to myself. So, post him on Facebook. She sees it and she ends up sending me the same exact picture that I posted on Facebook on Messenger. And she was telling me that she used to deal with him like very, what's the word? She had just stopped dating him, cut him off or whatever. And so it was still fresh between them breaking up or whatever. So she hits me up and she's like, he's a womanizer and he ain't no good. He only gonna play with you, this, that, and the third. She was giving me the real, but in my mind, what I'm thinking over here, because this the other woman who just got done dealing with this man, I'm thinking you the crazy ex who jealous and still wants him. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I hear what she's saying. I kept those things in the back of my mind because I'm in my mind, I'm like, people change. So just because he did those things to you don't mean that he's going to do it to me. But that ain't always true. When you're dealing with certain ones, when you're dealing with them narcs, it be the same thing every single time. Toxic, whatever, it be the same way every time. And so the things that she put in that message are all of the things that he turned around and did to me. And was still dealing with her at the same time that he was dealing with me, even though he told me he wasn't. So, all right, now we're further into the relationship or whatever. She done came out of the blue. He calls me because they done had a conversation. And she told him that she was going to hit me up, obviously, because he hit me up himself. And he told me first. So that makes me, now that he coming out and saying something first, now I'm just like, oh, he honest. He's so honest. He came to me first before she came to me. And he told me she would do that. And just sure enough, she messaged me. So I'm still believing that he the one. I'm thinking, God got my husband sitting in the halfway house. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm like, I just had to be patient because God had him sitting still waiting on me. My husband is sitting in the halfway house. That's what I was thinking in my mind. So I'm just like, yeah, she gonna try to stop what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? I was simple-minded at that time or whatever. And so, yeah, when she hit me up, like I said, I read it, I seen it, and I put it in the back of my mind because he had already came and told me that she was going to be on some stuff like that. And so it made him look better. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is when you the ex and you trying to warn somebody, even if you trying to warn them, they still ain't going to listen all the time unless they just really like, you know what, I done been through this before. And what she said, I'm sure he going to do the same thing to me. And then I can go ahead and exit stage left or whatever. But when you haven't experienced that and you want to give this thing a try, you're going to try, test the waters out just to see what's going to happen. And that's where I was in that situation. I have not made good choices in my life, y'all. But those bad choices that I made back then is what helped me to become the woman that I am now, to be able to see things differently, move differently, and love myself a whole lot more than I did back then. Instead of out here searching for people to love me, loving myself. And it feels good. So I'm not there anymore. These are old stories that I'm telling y'all that's leading up to how I'm in the situation I'm in right now. Currently separated from the narc, and I'm taking you guys on my journey so y'all can see where I've been and where I'm at now. So that's what all of this is about. So, like I said, he hit me up and he told me about the situation, told me she was going to hit me up and she was going to try to start some mess, this, that, and the third. And so by the time he hit me up, the message was already there. And so I'm just like, okay. So by the time I read the message, everything he said she was going to do was in that message. So it made her look like a liar and him the truth teller. So I went along with it. You know what I'm saying? But she started doing things later on in the relationship that made me even more believe that you are the jealous ex-girlfriend or whatever. And she was in on the games too, because it just the way everything fell out, she was in on the games too. So we're moving forward. So now his ex done popped up and she was like, woman to woman, this, that, the third. She gave me that rundown. I heard it, read it, and I put it in the back of my mind and I moved forward into the relationship with him. So in this halfway house, he had a cell phone, he had food, he had cigarettes, he had whatever he needed. She had already, and whoever else he had as supplies, had already stocked him up. So when I came in, it wasn't a whole lot that I needed to do. But like I said, I did do some things, but I didn't have to do anything too major. The major thing that I did do for him was bought him a cell phone. Went right to Walmart, got him a little phone or whatever. It wasn't nothing fancy dancy. It was just regular smuggler, a phone for him to call me, to be able to get in touch with me so he ain't got to use other people's phones in there and stuff or whatever. So I got him a phone. I would bring him food on the weekends or whatever, little thing. I would just, whatever he was running low on, I would bring him that. And sometimes it probably was like 6 cans of tuna that he probably needed. So he was trying, maybe he was being a little, lenient with asking me for stuff, but I still did stuff for him. So I still was a supply to him. And he was getting supply other places too. I just didn't know. So, okay, we carrying on. Now, he done got out. We talking good. He got me good. So, he gonna move in with me when he get out the halfway house. And he did. He did that. He got him a job while he was in there. So I was there day one when he started that job. Was there helping him practice and go over how he gonna do it, because he was working for like a telemarketing company or whatever. I was there practicing with him, going over his lines and this and that. And he became a good sales rep. He did. He was making his money. he was doing good. He kept that job when he got out. He did real good. So when he got out, he paid bills. I ain't had no problems with none of the men that I've dated paying bills. Even in the other story I got to tell y'all about, but we ain't there yet. So there's more. So I've never had any problem with any of the men that I've dated, on a serious note, paying bills. So he got out paying bills, breaking bread, doing different things or whatever. So I didn't have anything to complain about, you know what I'm saying? So me and him was always on the phone. So if he was doing things in the halfway house, I wasn't able to realize that those things were going on because we were always on the phone. And, you know, I was always there for visitations or whatever. But I found out that on visitation day, they could have more than one visitation that day. So he would swap us around. Have her come in the morning time, have me come in the afternoon, have her come in the afternoon, have me come in the morning. So he had his little thing going on. You know, so I found everything out at the end. But, you know what I'm saying, just letting you know that I am aware that they can maneuver in those places too to get whatever it is that they need. So I was lost then, but I'm found now. I'm found now. So he's out. He's working. He's paying bills. He's helping get my car fixed. Whatever I needed, he had me. Things is going good till he still had the cell phone that I bought him while he was in the halfway house. So he gets out. He comes home. The very next day, he goes to register. They lock him up again that next day. He had the money to get himself out. He just didn't expect to get locked up when he went to go and register or whatever. And so I done sat all day. We went to that office about 8 o'clock in the morning. We didn't leave there until 9 o'clock that night. So I had to go and get his money out and bond him out and all this good stuff. And I wouldn't leave his side. That's how dedicated of a woman I am. I ain't leave his side. I was there the whole time, out in the parking lot, out in the lobby, asking questions, all that good stuff. I did all that. So spent the whole next day, you know, getting him, you know, registered and taking care of his rid or whatever he had going on. So we got that situated. We go home. The next day, we go shopping. He go and get him some clothes, you know, because he's out. He got the money because when he worked in the work release program, the money that he made while he was working, they put that money into an account, put it on the card. So he got money when he gets out. That's cool. That's fine. That's great. So he goes and buy him, I'm going to say about 4 outfits this day. And some shoes. 4 outfits and 2 pair of shoes. So now it's time for me to go back to work. I'm working one job at this time. So at nighttime, so when he first got out, he had to register. After that, then he would go back to work or whatever. So went through all that. So he was home that day, 2 extra days after we got the outfits. So I worked overnight. He got plenty of time to do whatever he want to do. Have a heyday with somebody who work overnight. So I go to work the next night. Now, prior to him getting out, one of my coworkers came to my house. She got her hair done. I did 2 braids in her hair, just like this. That was the first time she was ever in my house. So she knew what my furniture looked like. She knew what my living room looked like. And that triggered her to come and tell me something. So that night that I went to work, he met up with the same girl who left me the message on Messenger. Talking about, oh, he's a womanizer, this, that, and third. He's just going to hurt you. Nah. Okay. Now her and the girl are mutual friends. Okay. She came to work and she was like, Shalissa, She's like, I want to show you something, but then again, I don't want to show you something. She's like, but you my girl, I like you. She's saying, I think you should know. She's like, because what I just seen, she was like, you ain't gonna like this. She's like, and I ain't even sure if the person took the picture in your house or if that was a picture you took of them and then they sent it to that person. She said, I just don't know how it is. She said, but I'm gonna show you and you do with it what you want to do with it. So I'm at work. Okay. He ain't been out that long. Probably about a good 4 or 5 days, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna say about 5 days. And it's already going down. So when she shows me her phone, he took a picture in those outfits and sent them to me at work. Now, the girl got the same picture on her Facebook page, broadcasting it for the world to see. And my coworker seen it and she showed it to me. She was like, now, I know this is your living room. She's like, because you did my hair in here. She's like, I know this is your house. She said, I don't know if he took them pictures of him or if she was there in your house and she took the pictures of him herself. And so I'm like, nah, he took them pictures at home or whatever, and he sent them to me. So he must have sent it to her, and then she posted it on her Facebook page. But that was a way for her to be like, oh, yeah, she making it seem like she was in my house. She wasn't in my house because my sister lived with me, and me and my sister was roommates. She was not there in my house. So he took those pictures of himself and sent it to her. She put it on her page as if she was, she took the picture herself or whatever. So she went on her Facebook and she started a whole bunch of mess between me, her, and him. So after she showed me the picture, I said, okay, all right, that's cool. I said, I thank you so much for showing me that. I said, because you didn't have to. I said, and just by you doing that, I said, that showed me what kind of friend you is. I said, and I really appreciate you for that. I said, and I ain't going to drag you through the mud through it. I said, but I am going to say something to him. And she was like, no, do with it what you want to do. She was like, I don't play like that. And if it was me, I want you to do the same thing too. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I get off no, I don't get off the call. So after I stopped talking to her, I was a facilitator at the job that I was at. So I can go outside anytime and, just walk out the building or whatever, because I could be doing trash. I could be going to fix a pump. I could be doing whatever. So me walking out the building to go and talk on my phone was not an issue at all. So I go to the back. I call him up and I asked him, why you sending her pictures of you? I thought you was done with her, this, that, and the third. And so, of course, baby, it ain't nothing like that, man. Baby, come home, talk to me, this, that, and the third. And so what I do, I get on off and I go home and I'm finna talk to him because I'm just like, this is real dirty. You sitting here sending pictures to her that you took in my house and you sent to me. And now here you are sending pictures to her. And y'all supposed to be done, this, that, and the third. And I'm trusting you with this whole situation, this, that, and the third. And so, of course, he was lying and, he broke down crying and, saying, now I'm believing the tears and this, that, and the third. But I still know that this picture is up there. And he was like, man, I posted that picture on my page and she took the picture off of his page and put it on hers. It's what he was trying to tell me what happened. He's like, I didn't send that to that girl. I didn't send that to the girl. So I hear her up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, listen, it is what it is. And so I said a few choice words to her and she said words back to me or whatever. And so that just prompted her to be a bigger a-hole about the situation. So that wasn't on the picture that went on Facebook. So now they done linked up. I'm at work again. They done linked up by the water. Oh, they sitting on the swing. They hugging. Wasn't no kissing pictures, but they might as well have been kissing because his arm was around her and they was standing there holding each other and all this good stuff. By the water. In the moonlight. Real romantic looking setting for me. So now I get another picture. She was like, okay, this getting out of hand. She was like, here go another picture. She was like, and I'll just bring you the pictures so that way you can see. Because me and the girl, after me and her got into it or whatever, we're no longer friends on Facebook or whatever. But she's selling out on Facebook, and people are bringing messages back to me about what she's saying about me. This, that, and third. So now they linking up while I go to work. And they taking, she making sure she got receipts. You know what I'm saying? Because she trying to show me just how he is and that what she's saying is true. I get it. I get what you're trying to do, boo. But at this point, I still want to be with him. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't saying y'all had, y'all ain't body to body. That's what we're gonna say for the word sex. That don't mean that y'all body to body at this time. But that's how simple-minded I was thinking, because of all the nice things that he done showed me and did for me and everything. So I'm just like, okay, these are pictures, yeah, or whatever, but you ain't got no actual proof that y'all sleeping together, this, that, and the third, or whatever. So we got past that. I let it go on or whatever. He didn't, he just started getting a little more slicker with not getting caught up. And, I guess he tamed her and made her stop posting stuff on Facebook or whatever. So that way it won't continue to cause a problem between us. But, what's done in the dark come to a light. And so I'm a big believer on that. And so that's how I actually looked at things. It was like, you know what you doing in the dark gonna come to a light. And so when it does, baby, it's gonna be a wrap. So I ain't have no solid proof that they were sleeping together. I can only imagine that they were sleeping together. But other things started happening. So one more before I turn this video off, and then I'll do another one to finish it. So after the pictures and all this here good stuff happens, this girl was the one who led to the breaking up of everything, because he would not leave her alone. And she was making sure that anything they did together, she wanted to make sure it got back to me. So now that I know that she doing things to just, be a pain in my behind, doing things or whatever, I started retaliating. So now we got this big old argument going on Facebook. But she only bad behind the telephone screen or computer screen or whatever she typing on her little stuff, and then with her little cheerleaders, okay? When we come face to face in real life, she quiet. She ain't got nothing to say. She mute. Me, I'm about it. So I'm just like, if you gonna talk, just walk the walk too. Because I'm about it. Whatever you want to do, I'm about that too. And it ain't gonna be over him. It's gonna be over how you think you playing games with me, and blase blase. But it wasn't gonna necessarily be over him. It was just gonna be, I'm sick of talking to you. So we go. What happens? Okay, so let me backtrack. So she starts problems on Facebook or whatever. And so something happened in her family where her brother, they had to raise money for her brother or whatever. He was in a coma and stuff like that. And so some people we knew wanted to support. We supporting too, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a heart. If it was my brother, I want as much help as I can get too or whatever. And so, this just ain't the time to be trying to start no problems. I'm here to support the system. But if you jump bad, trust and believe I'm gonna jump bad too. But this ain't the time nor the place. So I was aware that it was her brother or whatever. So her brother, it's a weird thing. He was my sister's husband's niece, brother from their dad or whatever. So some kind of way, we kind of, to her sister. However, either way, we went and we supported her brother. And so when I went there, I notified my clique that I was with that it's a possibility she's going to be there because it's her brother or whatever. But I don't need nobody to back me up. I'm just letting y'all know that if something do go down, y'all know why. So we go there and we support him. So me, because I can be petty when I want to be petty, there's a whole bunch of different tables and stands set up or whatever to go and support. And by you buying things, that's your way of supporting the cause or whatever. So they were selling food. I wasn't going to eat the food no way, but I just wanted to show her that even though you want to be a pain in the behind, I can still treat you nice and move around you without being nasty at all. So I go over to her table and I tell her, you know, I want a plate. And I ain't gonna lie, at that moment, I felt like, yeah, fix my plate. Chunk the money on the table. And I just stared at her. Because now, when I'm walking over to the table, she whispering to her little cheerleaders around her. Oh, there she go right there. Well, I'm just imagining what she was saying. Oh, there she go right there. Yeah, see her. That's the one. That's the one. This, that, and the third. And I'm just like, girl, I would take you and all these heifers sitting here at this table. I ain't worried about neither one of y'all. Walked over there and said, I want a plate. Chunked the money on the table. And you can tell that she don't want to fix my plate, but ain't nobody else getting up to fix my plate. So she fixed it. I took it, looked her square dead in the eye, and threw it in the garbage. Sure did. And I wanted her to say something. I wanted one of her friends to say something, and I was finna eat every last one of them up like a pit bull. But ain't nobody say nothing. She did all that barking on Facebook about what she was going to do when she seen me. And I came face to face with her. And she ain't say nothing. Her cheerleaders ain't say nothing. So since you ain't as bad as you tried to be on Facebook, I let it go. I carried on with my day because I was like, oh, I just knew you was going to give me one when you came face to face with me, and I was ready. But you weren't ready. So we meet face to face again. And at this time, me and him are still together. We still together. So the next time I see her, she come to my place of business. Then my manager also told me that she had been trying to get a job up there. She want to come work where I work at so she can antagonize me all day long. I told my manager, I said, if you hire her, I'm telling you, we'll be fighting in here every day. I ain't lying to you. She's like, ain't no way I'm finna hire her. She said, the girl is crazy. I say, I'm crazier. Go on and hire her and see what happens. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm just telling you. Because she don't like me and I don't like her. I said, and I'm telling you, we going to tear this store up if she come up in here. So one morning, I'm working the register. She comes in the store. She's still on Facebook selling that. I was ready. When I tell y'all I was ready, she came to my line. She ain't had no choice but to come to my line. It was 2 lines, but the other line, we had 2 split lines. And so if the register over there takes somebody, the next one fall over here. She fell over here to me. I wasn't ready to ring her up. What I started doing was taking off my earrings, my name tag, and was about ready to take my shirt off. And I stepped outside my little cubby hole that I was in because I worked at a place called Wawa. And Wawa, we had a center register area, and I was in that little block. I took my earrings off, my name tag off, and I stepped outside that little swinging door that I got to step out of, and I stayed right in front of her. She had a banana in a water in her hand, and she sat it down on the counter. And when I walked into her face, she was like, girl, ain't nobody finna fight you at work. Girl, ain't nobody worried about you right now. I'm not trying to fight you at no job. No, because you said you would get it wherever I stand, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm ready. I done already forewarned my job, baby. So I'm telling you, if you want it, come and get it. She didn't want it. So I went on ahead and rung her on up and sung on her merry little way. She ain't nothing without her cheerleaders. That's all she showed me. She got to have cheerleaders. I'm all by myself, baby. I ain't worried about no cheerleaders. So she was doing all that stunting or whatever. And so after that incident, then we gonna go ahead and get to the end, because didn't nothing much really happen then except for some text messages, and she started showing her face a lot more or whatever. And so next I'm going to tell you about how the relationship ended. Stay tuned.